Hey, this is Redban, and you're listening to the Death Squad Podcast Network. This episode of Muff Said and all the podcasts we do here at Death Squad can always be found on our website, deathsquad.tv, or on iTunes under Death Squad. Please subscribe to us and rate and review our show. Hey, Midwest, Death Squad's coming to your town. We're going to be at Columbus on November 10th. So, if you go to deathsquad.tv, right at the top, it says Death Squad Mini Tour. The first show just went on sale. And there's going to be a couple more shows that will be going on sale around Ohio. But this is the first one. Last time we came there, it sold out quick. So get your tickets, go to deathsquad.tv, or go to brownpapertickets.com and search for Death Squad. The new Death Squad store is open. Go to shopsquad.tv. There you have the new t-shirts, the new stickers, even have some of the old stickers left and some of the old t-shirts left, but those are almost completely sold out forever. The new t-shirt, there's a couple sizes that are not in stock right now. Those will be replenished next Monday, so just keep your eyes out for that. Also, don't forget, if you do any shopping at Amazon.com, please go to deathsquad.tv first and click on the shop button on the right side. That will open up Amazon like normal, but anytime you make a purchase using that link, we get a few pennies every time you spend $1. And now, here's a brand new episode of Muff Said.
You tempt me with a single touch, you're turning me on. You've powered me up, my memory is burning up, so best stop before you're any closer. System overload, you move it like
This is Redban coming to you from West Hollywood, and we're here with Brian Keely for a new episode of Muff Said.
I love gay music. Don't judge me. That song is awesome, and it's Binary Love. I am here today with friend of the show and best-selling author Chad Kultgen, and a new guest, someone we haven't had before, Futurama staff writer Eric Rogers.
Hello.
Woo! So since I think Chad should ask the first question, because Chad has been wanting to ask Eric a question ever since he found out that you're going to be on the show.
That's right. So Futurama, one of my favorite shows of all time.
Well, dude, that's right. Oh, hey, awesome.
Probably my favorite, or at least like in my top 3 or 4 favorite jokes ever written for TV comes from the old Futurama.
Okay.
And it was the one where somebody calls Bender a robo, and he's like, "Hey, what'd you call me?" And they go, "A robo. It's a robot hobo." And he goes, "Oh, I thought you called me a Romo." Mm-hmm. That's like one of the best written jokes I think ever in that kind of a like Simpsons-esque, animated format. It was fucking brilliant. So
I actually just rewatched that episode on the rerun on Comedy Central the other day, and it's still hilarious.
Yeah,
that is I had nothing to do with that joke.
Right.
I think I was not with the show at that point. I started out with the show in its first 3 seasons, and then I think that was a fourth season joke.
Got it. Well, nonetheless, you're part of the legacy.
I still work with the guys who came up with that joke. So all glory to those guys. Yeah, that you are a fan.
I am.
Yeah, that's.
I remember hearing that.
That one stuck out to you. That's awesome.
Well, there are certain times in comedy when you're like watching something, you're listening to something, and it's so fucking good you can't even laugh.
I hear you.
You're just like, what? Did I really fucking hear that? Jesus Christ, that's good. And it makes you ashamed that you also write things because you know you'll never do anything that good.
Well, as a comedy writer, when you hear a joke like that, or when you're in a room and somebody comes up with something like that, it just inspires you to like, oh man, it's like the Olympics. You're like, oh, that guy got the gold medal. I got to try harder in 4 years,
See, I'm like, I'm the kind of out of shape asshole sitting on my couch watching a professional football player actually play, and I'll never attempt to do that.
Yeah, but I can't write a book to save my life. I've tried, and I always go, I'll just write some crappy TV script. That'll take
right.
That'll take a week.
That will at least pay you more. That's guaranteed.
Well, but if you hit it big time, I mean, if you like you're a
best
selling, then you can write crap
Chad's
the rest of your life, right?
Actually, you wanted to talk about a script that you've been writing, something to do with magicians. Your first movie's being made.
My first movie is made.
Congrats.
Well, this is a story of congratulations and of lamentation. So yeah, I mean, if you want me to talk about this, I was going to get into the credit process for movies and how writers get fucked and how you have no power in movies at all.
That is true.
If you want to hear this story,
That is
So-
Come on. Let's
All
get
right.
weird right off the bat.
it's not that weird. This is actually less. It's anti-weird.
Is
This
it
gonna
Cranky
be-
Pants?
No. I'm going to tell
it's
you.
just kind of the way the industry
This is how it works.
Yeah.
For all aspiring writers, here's the deal. This is the exact story of a movie that's going to come out next year called Burt. It's called The Incredible Burt Wonderstone, starring Steve Carell and Jim Carrey as Las Vegas magicians. I wrote this as a spec script about 6 years ago, which
What's a
means
spec script? Yeah.
spec script is
Speculative.
I came up with all of the stuff myself. It wasn't based on another movie. It wasn't based on a TV show. It wasn't based on a book. It was just something that came out of my head. My friend and I, Tyler Mitchell, kind of conceived the general idea. I wrote the script. We sold it to New Line 6 years ago. It went through an array of different things, as did the company New Line. They, I think, at some point became bankrupt, and Warner Brothers bailed them out and became their distribution arm. If I'm saying this correctly, I may not be, but I think that's right. And then eventually they made the movie, which was this last year. And so in those 6 years, they probably had, I don't know, a dozen different rewrites. And so when a movie gets made and it has that many people doing rewrites on it, it automatically goes to Writers Guild arbitration for credits. And so at that point, the studio sends forth a document that is the tentative credits that they think the writers deserve. So in those tentative credits, as said by New Line, it was me and this other writing team on screenplay, and then story was me and my friend who originally conceived this whole thing. So by the end of it, which is like this long, arduous process, the Writers Guild effectively creates this weird atmosphere where writers try to fuck each other over to get credit for the movie and steal credit and what have you.
Well, why can't they just credit everyone? I mean, like, credits are like a mile long.
Generally speaking, they only give 2 credits for screenplay, sometimes 3, but that's pretty rare, I think. And so effectively there's this system that they have in place for this arbitration where they have 3 random people from the Writers Guild who are assigned as arbiters. You don't know their names, you don't know who they are. They're supposed to read every document and judge each document by the set of criteria. If you're the first writer on a project, only 33% of the final shooting script has to be deemed as having come from your original material. That includes characters, new and original scenes, dialogue, and story.
This is crazy, by the way.
right.
This is totally crazy.
Which makes you want to like never write an original piece
Correct.
for film ever.
But you're supposed to have an advantage as the first writer on a project because only 33% of that final shooting script has to be from your material. Any subsequent writer has to prove 50% of it is from their work in the subsequent rewrites to get any screenplay credit. So when you hear it goes to arbitration, you can hire people who specifically write these arbitration letters where they will read through all the shit, write a
How
letter.
much does that cost?
$6,000 is what it cost me.
Wow.
I know. And then, and it ended up not working. So my name is now removed from the screenplay of a movie that is I came up with, all the same characters. Their names are changed, obviously, and the dialogue is different. But it's essentially the exact same story. It's essentially the exact same characters. It's essentially the exact same movie.
What's the story? I like anything with magicians.
It's about like
Joe Baez. Come on.
right. It's about 2 like kind of old school magicians who do stage magic in Vegas, who are like the kings of Vegas, and then a new like Chris Angel type guy played by Jim Carrey shows up and kind of like steals their thunder, and they have to fight back to get on top. Whatever. It's like a very it's basically like a Talladega Nights-esque thing, but with Vegas magicians.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a very funny movie. But yeah, so that's effectively it. So in the end, but where this really, for anyone who cares about any of the real numbers and things, so instead of getting a little over 50% of the writing residuals of this movie, I now get 5% because I share story. These guys also got their name on Story By, which makes no sense whatsoever because the story didn't change at all. But that's what you get when you write a movie. Sometimes.
That's crazy.
Sometimes you don't, though. If you write and direct a movie, or if you're the only writer on a movie, obviously that doesn't happen. And sometimes, like if you're guys who rewrite a movie, you can totally screw everyone out of credit, and
That's
you
right.
can get a lot of money.
Jay Moore's in this movie?
And
I think he does a cameo. I
the
don't think he's a
rewrite
main character.
guys make a ton of
unfortunate.
money anyway. They
Yeah,
make
exactly.
a ton. They're the highest paid writers in the freaking
That's right.
industry. So they come in and they get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to do a couple weeks work or whatever it is, and then they screw guys like you. That stinks.
That's right. I would only.
That
This is
stinks.
what I would say. I personally am not into doing rewrites. I've never done one. I don't know that I would because I always like. I remember a long time ago I got sent a Patton Oswalt script that was called Puberty, and it was about a guy who didn't go through puberty until he was like 30. And I read it and I was just like, how could I ever fucking try to rewrite this. Like Patton Oswalt wrote this. It's funny.
And it's
I'm
great.
not. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fucking
Yeah.
do any of this. And that was kind of where I made the decision. Like I'm not down for this shit. And I think the Writers Guild kind of. I mean, all they really, I don't know. It's strange. I don't know. I don't know their agenda, but they do make 1.5% off of every transaction made for every writer. So the more the transaction,
I did not know that. Oh, there
Of
you
course,
go.
I'm sure you pay them, right?
Yeah, I do, but do I look at the fine print? I don't because
Yeah.
I just learned this. So there you go.
They make
Yeah.
1.5% off of every kind of like writing transaction. So
Yeah,
the more
boy.
people who rewrite a script, the more money they make.
Huh.
So it behooves them to have as many people rewrite a script as possible, but it doesn't behoove the writers, which is a strange thing because the Writers Guild is obviously supposed to be an advocate
For the writers, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But you don't care because you've got a new art career.
Yeah, well, not really, no. My writing career is still doing fine. There are other movies in the works, TV shows, what have you, but no, I thought that was kind of an interesting story to any aspiring movie writers out there. That's kind
It's a
of...
bummer.
Yeah.
It's a
People
thing
should
that
know
can
that.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really tough.
That's so
And there's
crazy.
nothing you can do. There's nothing you can just be like,
Right.
go to another group of people at the
no
association,
appeals.
Writers Guild. your
There is an
appeals.
appeal process. So the appeal process is this. They send you, at the end of the thing, they tell you what the decision is. And then you can request letters written by the arbiters as to why they made their decision. So I got those letters, and in each letter, each arbiter had misallocated credit for things that were in the script, saying, you get assigned an alphanumeric code. So I was writer A1, and the writers who eventually got credit for this are writers B. So in each of these letters, it would say writers B came up with this character or this scene, and all of these things were incorrect. They were all like in my drafts. So you can then request an appeal. You go to the appeal board, and the appeal board consists of someone from the credits department, somebody who handled your case, and then 3 other members of the Writers Guild who will listen to what you have to say, but they themselves do not and cannot read any of the original documents, so they can pass no judgment.
Is it inappropriate for me to ask like how much money's on the line here?
It depends on how much the movie makes.
That's right,
I mean,
yeah.
in this case, probably a lot. I'm
Yeah.
assuming that movie's going to do pretty well.
It can
Yeah.
change your life. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you have it.
Damn it! I wish we could like mobilize the Death Squad audience to like kick at the Writers Guild and Chad
No,
Kultgen's
no,
defense.
no. Don't do any of that. Whatever. It's all part of the game. I sold the script. I get what I deserve.
Yeah, it's the risk you take when you write an original script and take their money. So
And you're now writing scripts all on your own.
yeah. I've because the way Futurama worked is we wrote 26 episodes between April of 2011 and June of this year. So
That's a lot.
it was a lot.
That's a lot.
26 episodes in 14 months or 15 months.
How long does
whatever.
it take to write each script? Because you guys work in a group environment.
Yeah, it's basically we take a couple days to pitch out a story. We always get the story straight first. Then we take a day or two to pitch jokes, and then whichever writer has come up with the idea, that is usually the person assigned to write the script. So that writer will take the accumulated story and joke work out of the room, go write an outline in 2 or 3 days, bring that back in. The head writer, which in our case is David Cohen, he'll give his notes on the outline. And also, you'll probably get another day to do a joke pass with the group. So the group, based off the outline, is just throwing every joke possible in, and you're just taking all that work, and then you go off and write a script for 2 weeks, and then you bring it back into the writer's room, and then you take about a week and a half to do a punch up, and we do that for every script, no matter how good it is. It's like our philosophy is as great as a script can be, it can always be even better. So,
And
I
that's
think-
why your show has been on for how many seasons?
yeah, I mean
7.
7 now, and then next year will be 8.
So it has been picked up for an 8th season? Or?
Well, it's airing for an 8th season. They're taking the 26 episodes. The first 13 aired in this past summer for season 7, and then next year will be 13 for season 8. So
When you were a kid, did you think this was how the writing process would be as an adult? Or is your job as a writer as an adult?
no way in hell. I mean, there's no way. Like as a kid, and you could probably speak to this too. Like if you have an ability to write, you just, especially back when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, like all you thought you'd be as an author. I never really thought about screenwriting or television or anything like that. It was all just super foreign to me. So I just thought, I'm just going to spend my writing career sitting at a desk and writing short stories or hopefully novels, and it's just going to be me being miserable and smoking cigarettes and that whole thing. And
You're glamorizing ennui.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. There you go.
To himself.
That's right. But then you get to LA and you start the hustle and you say, oh, now I want to be a TV writer, and TV is very work a day. You start at 9 o'clock and end whenever, and then it's a group of writers who are in there doing their thing together, and working together as a group or working as a team on a show is a very different thing. And if you can get the hang of it, it's awesome. Some people can't. Some people don't gel with the team writing process. I actually love it.
Chad, do you ever do team writing stuff?
No, all the TV shows that I've sold, I've made 2 pilots. I've probably sold.
That's awesome.
Shit, I don't know, a dozen TV shows ish. And it's never gotten to series. So I've never had... I had one that was very close to going to series when we were meeting with writers to hire them on the show. So I was that close to having a writer's room. But no, I've never done it. It's always been just me, or in some cases I've written, with a friend of mine. And then once you get into the pilot process, you have a showrunner and you have other people will come in and help you the week before you shoot your pilot. Right. You can get a bunch of other writers who come in and help you punch up jokes. And do whatever. So, I mean, that's kind of like a writer's room, but it's not a legit one. It's not where you're in the trenches with these motherfuckers 20 hours a day for however long, smelling each other's farts. And,
you get to know a lot about people working in a writer's room for sure, So.
It sounds mildly traumatizing, even more intense than dating someone.
It can be. I mean, if you're on a bad show or you're with a bad team of writers, I mean, that can be a miserable process. And luckily, I've been really fortunate to work on this show because I tell people all the time, there's never a day I don't look forward to going there. And there's never a day I don't look forward to sitting in that room with those guys. I mean, it's just such an enjoyable process. And Matt and David are such great leaders. And it's just...
You work on a show that starts with cryogenic freezing.
Yes.
That's how the whole thing starts off.
Yeah.
Would you be cryogenically frozen, given the opportunity?
Yeah, I would, actually. Because I'm freaked out by dying. So
same.
If there was any way to postpone that, then inevitability, absolutely. And plus, I want to see what the future looks like. Even if it's post-apocalyptic, wasteland, I'd love to wake up and go, oh shit, this was real. People's imaginations really called this. So
strap on your shotgun and fight some
mutants.
I
Exactly,
get it.
dude. Yeah.
If you could be cryogenically frozen in 5 months and you had to say goodbye to everyone that you ever knew and then go into a freezing chamber for 1,000 years, would you do it? Or however long.
But wait a minute, in this theoretical situation, I'm getting frozen. I'm signed up, it's done.
Yeah, we know, yeah.
Wait, so you're saying I go home and I
You've
get
got
a
5
letter
months.
and they say 5 months from now, this is it. You got 5 months to say goodbye to the life.
To wrap your shit up.
But you're guaranteeing that you'll be unthawed. You're guaranteeing that the cryonics will be successful.
Yes, hypothetically.
So it's just 1,000-year time travel?
Yeah.
I'll do it tomorrow.
Fuck yes. What about...
That is a great question. Wow.
There's someone who's been talking about how... I can't remember how this came up because we were drinking. That we theoretically can go to Mars and colonize Mars, except that the first group of people that would go there would never get to see the outside of Mars. They'd have to go to Mars and live inside for the rest of their lives. Would you do that?
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Why not? Yeah.
It's fucking Mars,
Why not?
right?
Yeah, let's try something new. This planet's going to hell in a handbasket anyway. Nobody gives a damn. So let's try it. Let's go ruin someplace else.
Yeah. But now let's say this: you get to go to Mars, but it's you and 5 members of the Tea Party.
They're all dudes.
I'll stay here.
They all have man pussies, but no real. See, I would have to see if there's is there vagina on Mars? Is there alcohol on Mars?
Well,
I need
that's
certain
good.
things.
Yeah, there's certain vices to take with you or have there while you're staying inside.
Right.
Certain pleasures inside. Yeah, absolutely.
Fleshlights.
Fleshlights. No, just vaginas.
I went all the way to Mars and all I got was this fleshlight.
So, awkward segue because I love them. Actually, no, I'm going to go with the slightly unawkward, slightly less awkward segue. So since we're talking about super behind-the-scenes stuff that happens in Hollywood that probably no one cares about but us, well, actually, people care about Brian Redban's hat. So let's talk about your hat, Redban, because it's causing so much controversy.
Yeah, I guess my hat is...
Can we get the close-up?
But my hat's been making the rounds on all these news sites because people are trying to figure out what the hat means because it's from I guess I can say this, Iron Man 3.
Oh.
And people are trying to figure out, what that means as who's going to be in the next Iron Man. And so a bunch of websites have been picking it up. Actually, there's been quite a few of them talking about what the rings mean.
Do you know what the rings
10
mean?
rings mean?
Can you say what the rings mean? Do you know?
I don't even know. I have no idea. But I
So
think
how'd you get the hat?
They're Iron Man's 10 buttholes.
in the future, Iron Man's going to have 10 buttholes, and he's going to get fucked by all of Thor's peeps.
Each one does a different function. One is for shitting, one is for getting fucked, one is for
the movie would
hemorrhoids,
go in that direction. That's
etc.
Wow.
I think maybe like each hole is assigned to each one of the superheroes. Like one's for the Hulk, and
Oh, that's the biggest
one's
one.
for Thor,
I like that, yeah.
and one is for the Arrow guy.
Spider-Man.
Hawkeye.
Spider-Man, the
sure.
Arrow guy? What are you talking about? the Arrow guy? Who the,
The
fuck's
Arrow
that?
guy.
There's a bunch of Arrow
Hawkeye.
guys.
Arrow
You're
dude.
talking about Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Hawkeye, yeah.
I guess the fans are thinking
Arrow guy.
it's a nemesis called Mandarin who wears
Oh, yeah.
10 alien rings.
That makes a lot of
Each one
sense.
has
Yeah.
superpower.
I'm going with that.
Yeah.
Going with that.
The fans are usually right.
Yeah.
What else could that be? Now that you mentioned that, it's got to be Mandarin.
Yeah,
Come on.
right.
Yeah.
And he's a big villain. Yeah, that's good. It's a great theory.
Did anyone go to Kamikaze last weekend? Was it just me?
I was at the.
I'm straight.
I was at. But
Oh,
wow.
I like when I ask Chad anything that he doesn't want to do. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just if Chad doesn't want to do it, his response is, "I'm straight." A little homophobic.
I actually got that from my friend Todd, and we have fucked. So
Is that
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Is that your gay friend? That is, never mind. You've got a new book coming out.
Talk about awkward segues.
They're my specialty.
All right, fantastic.
and I don't have any gay friends.
You don't?
No.
No?
why would
Yes,
he?
I do have a few gay friends.
I actually thought that maybe an average American male that the first one, because the second one isn't out yet, that your gay friend might be based on a real life person.
He's not based on a real life person. I've had a couple of conversations with some gay friends that got like pretty in depth into the whole sexual nature, at least of those specific people, and kind of like how their whole fucking thing works, the depraved shit they're into. And I kind of used that as a kernel to build this character who's very unabashedly gay.
I love average American male, and it took me like a week after reading that book to realize, like, to remember, like, this is not Chad. This is a fictional book, but it's so well written. Have you read it?
No, I
Eric,
haven't.
have you read any of Chad's work?
I just saw that you had written 3 books. Is that right?
Yeah,
3
man.
novels?
3.
Yeah. So, like, I feel like a complete jerk for not having read one of them.
You
So-
should have read all of them
I
and
know.
memorized
I
them
know
for this
it's-
event.
As soon as we started retweeting each other, I should have been on top of it.
Yeah.
That sounds really gay.
It's fine.
Retweeting each other?
Yeah.
That's the world we live in, isn't it?
Hey, bro, I'm going to retweet the fuck out of you.
From behind.
Better lube up. You're going to get
Retweeted the hell out of that guy. Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, so the sequel's coming out in February. Everybody buy it. I think you can pre-order it on all whatever websites.
I'm
I'm
going
super
to do it tomorrow since I'm such a terrible person.
You don't
There
have
go.
to. You
No,
really
I
don't
want
have to.
Shut up and take my money.
All right.
That's what I'm doing.
Cool. All right, I'll do it.
Yeah, I still have one of your books. I still haven't read The Lie. Which needs to
A lot of people
happen.
say that's their favorite because it has probably the most sinister character of any of my books. A dude named Brett Keller.
more
who's like-
sinister than the guy in Average American Male.
Oh fuck yeah!
'Cause that
This
guy's
guy's like
pretty
the
sinister.
devil.
Oh, now I'm really excited.
You should be excited. You said you have a book project coming up, Eric.
Yeah, well, it's I am trying. I am in the process of. I optioned a book called Men of Tomorrow, and it's it's a true story about Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, how they created Superman, and I liken the project to. We're taking it around as a feature right now. I've written the first act of the film, and then I have the second and third act treatment figured out. So we're taking the project around as that. But the basic story is how they were just 2 kids from Ohio who wanted to create a newspaper comic strip, created Superman, which basically created the comic book industry, and they kind of got left in the dust because of how big it became so quickly, and also because the way comic strip deals were done in the 30s was, you signed over your ownership rights. Nobody kept their ownership rights. It was just the way business was done. But nobody had ever created anything this popular or iconic or massive before. So Jerry and Joe, being 20-something guys, realized that there was somebody out there making a ton of money, and they weren't seeing any of it. So then they started to fight for their rights and kind of got kind of got blackballed within the industry because they became known as comic book guys who were troublemakers, and they basically spent the next 40 years trying to get the ownership rights back, and not to give away the ending, but everybody will know it because it's true story. Warner Brothers eventually did give them their created by credit on anything Superman, starting with the movie that came out in 1978. And up until present day, and will be
Isn't
forever,
there some
so.
weird drama with the reason they keep remaking Superman every so years is so that a certain portion of the ownership doesn't go back to the family and still it remains with the studio? There's some weird legal drama with that.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a dance we have to do. Our hope is that the Ben Affleck movie. The name is escaping me. Hollywoodland that came out. The one conflict we're running into is that people are like, "Oh, Superman, we can't show that much. We can't show Superman in this movie." It's like, well, they did it in Hollywoodland. So we're trying just to find the right producer that will go, "Hey, yeah, this is a really great American." Rags to riches type story that needs to be told, and I liken it to the Social Network for the comic book industry. And I really think that the time is so perfect for it because, look at everything around us. It's all comic book based. Mm-hmm. It's all graphic novel based. And, just there's billions of dollars. The Avengers is, just
that Stan Lee documentary just came out, too.
What's that?
That Stan Lee documentary with great power just came out, yeah.
Exactly. So, these are, what also is also great about Men of Tomorrow is that it tells the story about how, a bunch of young guys in New York City in the 30s and 40s were just, putting their noses down and going to work and drawing and writing. And it was just like such a fun, creative time. And, they
have you read The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay?
I haven't, but I know that there's a lot of cross-section action with that. So, but I'm not, I understand. My understanding of the Cavalier and Clay is that, I think Scott Rudin's company has owned it for 10 plus years now, and they can't figure a way to get it made. So we're just saying, look, this is true history. It's a story for our time.
It's a docudrama.
Right? It's a docudrama. To me, I think it would be perfect for HBO film. So if anybody from HBO is listening or watching, I have something for you. I know I write Futurama, but I can also write this drama for you guys. Anyway, no. So, yeah.
You need to rub your nipples while you say things like that.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
It really...
So, HBO, if you could... No, but yeah.
Somebody from HBO busts in through the door.
Yeah.
We heard your request.
Yeah,
we'll
hello,
do
son.
it.
I got a contract for you right here. Sign, please. Hurry up. You're gonna be big, kid. Anyway.
Speaking of comic books, what are you guys reading right now?
Oh, gosh.
Nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with The Walking Dead. I read a bunch of the New 52 when I was at a Burning Man. Oh, sorry, I keep making noises, with my hand. My buddy brought a bunch of those out there, so I just was kind of reading
The New
everything.
52? How do you feel about Catwoman?
What I read seemed pretty good. What do you think?
Hot.
Oh,
so hot.
All right, I gotta remember this is the kind of show you're doing here. So I'm like, you don't throw me for a loop when you do things like that.
That's not that sexy. It's not like I porno voiced it.
No, but
it's so hot.
Oh, there you go. But
how was Burning Man this year?
It was good. It was awesome. I came back, just destroyed from it. That's the way it is every year.
I've only been twice, and when I try to explain to people what going to Burning Man is like, the thing that I say is, so I was at Burning Man for a week, and I was so hot during the day that all I wore was body glitter and butterfly wings for a week during the day.
Yep.
And when I came home, I woke up in the morning and I had to get up to go get water from the corner store. And I walk out of my front door, walked out of my porch, all the way down my steps, before I realized that I have not put my clothes on.
So you
in the middle of my apartment complex, just because you get so used to not wearing clothes, you get so comfortable.
I don't think so. But the bigger question I have is, where do you take a shower? Where do you shit? Where do you piss when you're at this place? I've never gone. I don't think I ever will because I need to bathe like 5 times a day.
That's the one thing you give up when you go. You
Never
can
going.
bring
Porta
a
potties.
shower. Yeah, the porta potty thing, and they're actually the cleanest porta potties in the history of mankind. I'm not kidding you. I've never I've never been in porta potties.
Some
that were
years.
Well, the last 3 that I've gone the last 3 years in a row, and
Okay. I haven't been in like 5 years.
Okay, so they may have stepped up their game, but that was the biggest shock to me when I got out there. Is like they take care of these things. I mean, they're on top of it. So there's
But
that.
everybody's filthy, just stinking of body odor, and they're sweating, and it's fucking disgusting.
Well,
right?
no, because you kind of like the playa dust gets everywhere,
There you
and
go.
it just kind of absorbs all the sweat. So
And
you're
it
just
kinda-
dusty. but you're
everybody's
not
just
really-
covered.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know.
This is the most
it sounds
disgusting
horrible.
fucking thing. And don't people like do all drugs and fuck each other and stuff?
Yes.
So you're these dirty,
Why
fucking
would you
filthy
do-
animals just like fucking in the dirt, in the mud?
Have you ever heard of the concept of id? And how is that not awesome?
You can have the concept of id fully control your being in the confines of your bedroom after you've showered.
There are ways of maintaining. That's the way I will. That's the diplomatic way of
Saying that he uses
solving-
baby wipes.
There you go. You
On your whole fucking body?
yes. I mean,
Jesus.
it's either that or
Well, there's people that have water trucks that drive
There are the
by.
water
There are
trucks,
water
yeah.
trucks that
This is
drive
just
on the
getting
road.
worse and worse. So my Burning Man experience is me fucking running after a water truck for 10 days or however long this fucking thing goes on.
That is the experience for a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally ran after water trucks trying to get a quickie shower in.
I would rent a trailer. A lot of people bring trailers.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
the RV is the way to go.
Yeah, that's how I'll do it. I've never done it for the same reason, but I think if I did, it would be the same.
What are you looking at?
Oh, nothing. A tweet somebody just sent me. They just got employed at the Olive Garden.
Speaking of the Olive Garden,
Yeah.
who
I
is
couldn't
Paul,
find that thing, by the way. Sorry.
who is Paul Sass? What is Paul Sass?
Well, should we enlighten the audience? Paul Sass, as the stone placard that is affixed to the outside of the Burbank Olive Garden,
Yes.
says he is the general manager of the Burbank Olive Garden. It says that there in stone just as you enter the front door. I myself have seen Paul Sass, and he has spoken to me as I left the Olive Garden. He said, "Thank you for coming." And I almost shit my pants.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I just found out that we both have a love for Paul Sass and the Olive Garden in
Yes.
Burbank. But you got to meet him, pretty starstruck at the whole thing.
Anytime I go in there, I'm always on the lookout. I'm on Sasquatch because I feel like seeing him is almost like seeing a fucking leprechaun or something, you know? Even though he works in there and is probably in there all the time, so you could see him all the time. I guess it's not quite the same, but
He's the Loch Ness monster of chain restaurants. Is
Yeah.
what they're saying.
it feels like that.
Yeah.
Is he like an Asian kind of guy or Mexican?
No.
Or,
He's probably like a 6'2" white guy who looks like he eats pretty well,
Well, there's endless.
So
breadsticks
Sasquatch
and
isn't
soup,
accurate.
So, you know,
but very clean cut, very well mannered, very kind to all of his patrons.
that's really nice.
I can't say enough good things about Sass. Maybe one of the saddest days of my life will be when I go to that Olive Garden and I see that placard has a new name on it, or the placard has been removed.
But it's like in stone. It's not like a brass engraving that can come out. It's
That's
like
right.
actually in a rock. That's like
That's right.
inside, like in the masonry.
That's right. But I imagine that is easily removed. I mean, they can't. Unless he owns that fucking Olive Garden. I've thought about this a million times.
No, it's been
Why
replaced
is
before.
it in there?
It's been replaced before. I've seen.
Who was the prior manager?
I can't remember, but I have a picture of it somewhere. But yeah, we
Oh,
both have
fuck.
photos of this plaque in the front of the Olive Garden. We're such nerds.
You guys need to get free meals out of this.
Oh, trust me.
Please.
I've even wrote a song called Olive Garden Butthole, and
Oh, and that didn't do it?
And you did get a free meal out of that.
and,
Wow.
and the best thing is that
Stunned.
this German band called Butt Funnel just asked me if
my
they
God.
could remake the song, and it's on their
Remix.
Chosen
We gotta hear it.
edition. I don't know if I can listen to it. Let's see if we can listen. Oh wait, yes you can.
Oh, Jesus, I'm about to shit my pants.
Fantastic.
Buttfunnel.com or buttfunnel.bandcamp.com. You could hear
Sounds like Bad Chili Peppers.
they rewrote it, but I'm in the. You can hear me in the background in the chorus. When I was
This is my new favorite song immediately.
Sticks and iced tea. Get a booth, baby.
This is fucking awesome.
Into the garden. We are family.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's check it out.
Holy crap.
Butt Funnel, which is my favorite name for a band ever. And the fact that they're German just makes me even so much happier.
Of course they're German. What else would they be?
Wait, can I ask
We
you
on Butt Funnel.
I have one quick question.
Yeah.
What is an Olive Garden butthole? Are you referring to a person as an asshole, or are you referring to what happens to your asshole after you eat their chicken parmesan, like it does to me?
It actually
Oh,
started
my
off when I was dating, I think, Veronica Ricci, and she never wears underwear. And so we were eating delicious bread and salad, as you know, and then I looked over and I saw her butthole when she like bent over to get her napkin off the floor.
This is fantastic.
And I'm like, this is the best day at Olive Garden ever.
This is the worst restaurant story ever. Oh my god.
That's fucking. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna just fucking leave and go kill myself.
Tap
That's
out right now.
That's fucking insane.
Wow.
God, it's so good. It's so good. It's so fucking good. I'm surprised we haven't seen each other in there. How often do you go?
Usually every Sunday. Like I'm supposed to go there with Lexi Bell this Sunday, I think. But
That's
awesome.
So let me tell you my Olive Garden every Sunday story.
All right.
Where I became a regular at the one in Westwood when I used to live over in Westwood. Then they fucking closed it down and moved it to Burbank, and I can't go every Sunday, but I do frequent it probably, I would say, 1.25 times a month.
wow.
That's pretty good.
Well, you should also know, I guess, since we're talking about the Olive Garden, you probably don't know this, but we at Death Squad have a brand new podcast called Olive Garden Butthole, and the first episode's available at deathsquad.tv, and it's where me and Dana Diarmond just ate Olive Garden and recorded it. And so it's a horrible sounding podcast, and it's very annoying. But the general,
fuck, dude.
I don't know if it was the general manager, but at one point the manager did come up and start talking to us and asking us our service and stuff.
That's great.
Okay,
But-
well, if there's ever an episode 2, I better be on that motherfucker.
I know there's already a line. There's a wait to be on the Olive
We
Garden.
got to get on the waiting
Now
list.
you're on the waiting list.
All
Yeah.
right, well, put me on. Put me on the waiting list.
How come I wasn't invited?
Give me a buzzer.
Dana Diarmond's funnier.
Actually, no, I think I did invite you, but you were out of town or something at the time.
Oh yeah, you did invite me.
Yeah.
Maybe this Sunday. What are you doing? What time?
Lexi Bell is already.
You can't bring 2 girls. It's just one.
Well,
This is an intimate sit-down show.
yeah, because I mean, the point of Olive Garden Butthole is to get laid afterwards.
Oh, shit.
So the gauntlet's
I'll
thrown down. There
actually
you
say
go,
this
yeah.
now. I'm straight, so maybe scratch me off that list.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, fuck. That's hilarious.
Tomorrow, new Death Squad stickers go on sale.
Yeah, tomorrow.
People should buy them.
Yeah, tomorrow. Probably mid-afternoon, we got the Olive Garden sticker, or the Olive Garden stickers.
Which camera? Do I have one on me? There we go. No. Yep. There's so many cameras in here.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, these are high-quality
Super
stickers.
close-up.
They're like handmade. You can even feel like the texture of them, like each little.
They've got
line on them.
embossing.
Yeah, and these should be way more waterproof than
You
the
know
old
it's classy when it says embossing.
That's right.
It's totally true. It's fucking science. So you have a squirrel. Okay, so I have not one but 2 people in this room with squirrel stories. Eric Rogers, you randomly have a squirrel story?
I don't have a squirrel. I don't have an Olive Garden or a squirrel story. I can't compete with this room.
It seems like the two are
It's-
linked.
we can hang out,
Okay,
Eric Rogers,
yeah.
and we can have our own stories.
We can go to the Olive Garden and then see if we can. And we'll go watch.
You
Squirrels.
guys should go to Chili's and feed hedgehogs or something.
and look for opossums
Yeah.
at night.
So, Chad Kultgen, I don't know if you on this show have talked about your squirrel recording, or if that's just something we've talked about personally.
Yeah, I don't believe I have talked about it in public ever. I can tell you my most embarrassing moment with it, though.
So, Chad has been luring squirrels into his kitchen and feeding them?
Yeah, you could say that. That would be factual if you did. So
Usually naked.
sometimes, I mean, I walk around my house
Squirrels
fucking
don't
naked.
judge,
Squirrels
man.
don't give a
They
shit.
don't judge.
But I'll tell you this. So I had a squirrel that was coming around. I have these squirrels that live outside my kitchen window. I feed them by hand with these little almonds and shit. They love it. And the first one that ever came became so friendly that he would come in through my kitchen window. I'd leave the window open. I'd be in my living room doing something. He would come in through the kitchen window and like peer around the corner, you know, as if to say, "Where's my fucking nuts?" Right? So that guy I named Stringer Bell after my favorite.
Wow.
After my favorite character from The Wire, right?
Awesome.
Cut to a few months later, I'm doing this little book signing thing, and some friends show up, one of whom is friends with Idris Elba, who is there. And I'm drunk enough that one of my friends convinces me, you should totally show him a video of you feeding your squirrel and tell him that you named it after his fucking character. And I did this. And immediately, as I was doing it, I was like, fuck, stop doing this. Just stop showing him. He does it. This is bizarre. And I kept doing it. And I feel really bad about it still to this day. And also a squirrel bit me on the finger. I had to get a tetanus shot.
Oh, fuck. I heard those things hurt, too.
Yeah, man. It was like, what? Okay, so it bit me on the fucking front of my finger. On my index finger, I start bleeding, and like some fucking retard, all I think is like, oh, it's like a snake. So I start sucking the blood out and spitting in my sink. Meanwhile, it's either rabies or tetanus is like a fucking viral thing or something, or an infection. Like, you're
That's
screwed.
how zombie apocalypse.
Exactly. I almost initiated it.
Oh,
So
my God.
I call my fucking doctor, and I'm like, hey, man, I got bit by a squirrel, and he just starts laughing at me. And then when he stopped laughing, he was like, you got to go get a tetanus shot, go to an emergency care clinic. So I went to one. They laughed at me, and then they administered the fucking shot. And here I am, alive today.
You made it.
You survived.
Yeah.
You bitten by a squirrel.
I know.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said you have a squirrel story also, Ryan?
No, I'm saying that you have a squirrel story, and like it's just weird that like you and Chad have this weird like
Connection? This
like,
gay connection?
this mind meld.
By the end of the show, I think I'm going to be saying I'm bi.
All right, so my squirrel is that there was a guy I knew in Ohio that had a squirrel that lived
That's where
in
I'm
his
from.
back. What?
That's where I'm from.
Are you really?
Ohio, yeah.
What part?
That's why I'm rocking the Cincinnati crappy St. Patrick's Day hat right now.
So Cincinnati boy.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm from Columbus.
Go Buckeyes.
Yeah, that's right.
OH.
So there was this guy in
You and I just looked at each other like...
He's supposed to say I-O. There it is. All right, anyway.
there was this squirrel that lived in my friend's backyard, and he was a hippie, and he used to sell...
Squirrel, your friend.
So he bought a big vial of liquid acid and put a bunch of acorns on a plate and poured liquid acid all over and put it in his backyard. And then one day, all the acorns were gone, and the squirrel went psycho. And for about I forget how long it was. This was seriously back in like 94. The squirrel, but there's still articles about it because people were getting attacked by this rabid squirrel. And so this one neighborhood where he lived in, there's even a funny like avatar or GIF animation from like what the fuck?
I like that he's a Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. And
Irascible. That's a good word.
Yeah, and the first suspect with beady black eyes has taken over a tree-lined neighborhood in the Columbus suburb. It's just impossible to catch this squirrel. The squirrel, it says, stays in a 2-block period, and he just zooms up your leg like it was a tree, said a 13-year-old girl.
Wow.
None of the injuries are too serious, but pretty much he's either been someone's pet or he's just crazy is one of the quotes that somebody said.
Started with he's vicious.
I like there was another quote on there that said, he's absolutely not intimidated by anyone.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Said, is that Lieutenant Don Richardson? What?
These are the kind of stories that are big news in Ohio.
They had police on the job.
Oh yeah,
Get a squirrel?
no, it was on the news like every day about the squirrel because they couldn't catch it.
Yeah.
And
That irascible squirrel.
Was it fucking hurting people? They're like, why do you need to catch it? It lives in a tree. Let it be. I mean,
it was just like running up to people and attacking them, like that chick said. It was like ran up her leg and just ran away and like it was just freaking everybody out.
What does an attack squirrel sound like?
I don't know,
But
it would probably be something like
they like chirp and shit when they fight each
I
other.
know
They
that-
fight each other around my
Yeah.
balcony all the
Yeah.
time.
when they're like chasing each other around
Yeah.
trees and whatnot, yeah.
And they do this little noise where they rattle their teeth like
Ah,
Yeah.
something like that.
that's terrifying. It's totally terrifying.
But you're sure this was the same squirrel that your hippie buddy?
yeah, because it
put-
was the exact same neighborhood, and when
It has to be.
and when he
It doesn't have to
when
be.
it was happening.
Come on, he leaves out liquid acid on acorns, and then a squirrel goes psychotic and holds an entire neighborhood hostage.
And when
This
you-
sounds
It's
like
a
sci-fi
squirrel.
movie waiting to happen, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, acid squirrel.
what was funny though is because he thought it was hilarious, and so he made like before he even did the acid part, he made a bunch of T-shirts that had the map of his neighborhood on it, and it says the following neighborhood has been has a squirrel that's a squirrel that's been given acid or something like that. Like he was like thought it was funny. Then he did it, and we all had like posters of what he made like on our walls. Like I can't believe he's really going to do this. And then when he did, he's like, "All right, guys, just hide those posters."
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? So
That is
he was
great.
paranoid though about it. Like he actually left and went somewhere for like a month because he thought he was going to get in trouble.
So what happened? It ultimately died or wore off?
I think it took
guess.
them 5 weeks to actually catch the squirrel.
Oh, they caught it and
They
killed
did.
it.
They finally caught it. Yeah, and they smoked it.
Wait, what? They smoked it? The squirrel?
It's very sad.
They sent that squirrel to Burning Man. Happily ever after.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Magic is happening.
I just finished reading Neil Strauss's Emergency, where he like goes like lives off of the land in his backyard in the Hollywood Hills and like traps small animals and cooks them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
All
did he
right.
do this just so he could write a book about it, or what?
What was the point?
Well, because it's surviving. It's an awesome book. It's good. I went on a Neil Strauss bender. I just read Emergency and The Game. It's been a really amazing week. But yeah,
You read a lot.
I do. And right now, this week, I'm reading Wanted, which was turned into that terrible Angelina Jolie movie. But
That's my favorite movie.
it's not your favorite movie.
It's not.
No. I stole Rhinestone from you. I know you have much better movies than that. Much better
Rhinestone, you said? Wanted is actually a better movie than Rhinestone.
But Wanted, it's written by Mark Millar, so you know it's amazing. Has absolutely nothing to do with the Angelina Jolie movie. Like, it's completely 100% different. Like, it's just,
There's Hollywood for you.
there's Hollywood, yeah. Just
Yep.
like, wow, totally the same story at all. And the best part about Wanted is the comic book is that Millar had the characters drawn as to who he wanted cast in the role. So the male protagonist is actually drawn as Eminem because he wanted Eminem to be in it. And the girl that plays Fox, that was later Angelina Jolie, was actually drawn as Halle Berry.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been a different movie for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like Tommy Lee Jones was supposed to be in it. Well, if Mark Millar got his way with the drawing and whatnot.
And that was the Morgan Freeman character, the Tommy Lee Jones.
I don't know. I haven't gotten that far. I just started today. I literally have just like finished up 2 Neil Strauss books, and the Emergency book has been amazing because it's made me extra paranoid about the apocalypse, which
Right
is
on.
always a good thing.
What kind of apocalypse?
Any.
Do you have emergency kits for
I
different apocalypse?
I'm starting.
Apocalypti?
But I guess what he talks about in there is that how the government plans, you should never assume the government, like Katrina actually happened the way it was planned to happen because it was assumed that the government cannot get to any disaster relief situation for 3 to 5 days. And that's what happened there.
Oh,
That's
wow.
actually the way
That's-
that our disaster relief system is designed,
Oh, okay.
which is a really terrifying thing to find out
that's-
about.
Yeah, for sure.
So, can you survive for 3 to 5 days with no grid?
Wait, 3 to 5 or 35?
3 to 5.
Yeah.
3 to 5. That's easy.
As long as my internet still works.
I can still tweet, right?
If I still have my iPhone, yeah, exactly.
I think you could do that. I just fucking chill out in my house.
Masturbate a lot.
Yeah. 3 to 5 days. I got some shit.
If you've
in my
been to
fridge,
Burning
probably.
Man, you can definitely do it.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, you're telling me how you're walking around fucking naked with fairy
Yeah.
wings for 10 days in a row, chasing water trucks and shit. But you're like, 3 to 5 days in my house that has food in it? I don't know.
Seriously, no, I had to get a whole like water system for my tub. So you basically it's a giant bag that you buy from Amazon, and if you know that the grid is going down, because usually with a
Wait,
emergency,
if the grid is going down...
well, like you generally know if like an emergency is happening, like there's generally somewhat of a warning, and
Okay, I
there's
see
usually
what you're
enough
saying.
water in the pipes to like if you knew like an hour or a day in advance, you can go and you tap it onto your tub, and it fills up your entire bathtub area with this giant like thing of water.
Okay.
And so it becomes like a water source. Turns
But
your
can't your
into, like, a
bathtub
tank.
just do that?
But you don't want to leave the bathtub like open and like touching the side. It's like it's a
then
sterile
it'll
bag.
get-
I don't
yeah.
give a shit.
Well, you would after a while, though, right?
Yeah.
After a while.
Diphtheria or whatnot.
Yeah.
Bring it. I've had it. I got bit by a fucking
Had it.
squirrel.
Bring it on.
Can't do much worse to me in terms of disease. But no, so in LA, though, the disaster will be a fucking earthquake. You're
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
You have no
Yeah,
warning.
they're having them in Beverly Hills now, so it's coming.
I know. That's
Yeah.
fucked
Yeah, if they're
up.
fucking with
I
Beverly
know.
Hills.
I know. Well, I guess one happened while I was at Burning Man, which was like, whatever. And then the one that happened a week or two ago, I felt that one, and I literally about pooped my pants in my bed. I was like freaking out. Like I could not believe how rattling that was. I'd never felt anything like that before.
Have you never been in an earthquake? How long have you been out here?
17 years now.
what
But
the
no,
fuck,
I
man?
have felt them. I felt them, but nothing that like jarring.
No
Like
shit.
That literally felt like a
The earthquake had a lot of torque.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was like boom, like torque. That's a great word. Yeah. It literally felt like a semi hit my house, and I jumped up cursing using every curse word I knew.
Now, do you run outside when that happens? Is that what you do when you feel? Because I had that happen here about 2 months ago, where it was the exact same thing. It was a huge jolt. And then I just immediately ran out the door, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is this guy running out in the street?"
I tried, but I immediately reached for my wife because thank God I did, because like we had an earthquake one time where I ran out without her, and she has never let me live that down. So this time, my first instinct was wake her up because she slept through it, and I shook her, and by the time she was awake, the thing was completely gone. So she was like, "Oh, okay, well, you just go back to," like it was that sort of deal. And then I just sat up for like half an hour going, "What the hell just happened?" I mean, but yeah, and then that was scary. That freaked me the hell out. Yeah.
Wow.
So, but yeah, I mean, I've been here 17 years, and I've never been that freaked out by them.
That's interesting, man.
That one was intense. Yeah.
The worst one I remember was probably maybe 3 or 4 summers ago ish. I was pitching a fucking movie in this meeting at Warner Brothers up in a building that the guy's office was all one side of it was all glass.
Oh fuck.
Oh boy.
And
yeah.
it started, and we both kind of looked at each other like, should we do something? And then we both just kind of looked out the window, and you could see telephone poles kind of moving like they were made of rubber a little bit.
Dude.
And we both just stared at it, and then it ended, and we were like, was that an earthquake? Yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, we did nothing. Then we just proceeded with the fucking meeting. Like, what else do you do?
Did he buy that movie?
No.
Son of a.
I know, fucking earthquake.
You survive an earthquake with a guy.
I know. You
Least
think
he can
that'd be
do.
Yeah, it's like a bonding
Doing
experience.
solid, man. Buy my movie.
That'd be cute if you both held hands. And I guess this is it, guys.
And then at the end, he's like, so can we turn the love interest to a guy?
I always wondered if there was ever going to be one of those. All right, we have an asteroid coming. We're going to die in 10 hours. If everyone is just going to go right out in the streets and fuck, because you always ask, what are you going to do?
Oh,
I'm like,
come on, didn't you just see
and...
that movie, Seeking a Friend for the End of the World, with Steve Carell and
No.
Keira Knightley?
Is that the plot?
No, I ban all.
Straight.
I ban all Steve Carell movies now.
So wait, is that the plot of that?
It's 3 weeks until
and people are just losing their doing whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, and if he falls in love with Keira Knightley, and it's very lovely.
That seems so likely.
Yeah, totally likely.
In the end of
Right.
that movie, they don't save Earth. Everyone dies?
Everyone dies.
That's great.
Oh, they gave away the ending.
I actually like
Whatever, dude. If,
No,
if
I'm
you're
kidding.
listening to the
I
show,
kid.
you have to really
I
assume that there's going to be
kid.
spoilers.
I know.
No, I got to tweet someone who was like, before you do a spoiler alert, before you talk about a movie, make sure you say spoiler alert. And I'm like, fuck you,
We have a
dude.
sound
No,
for that, by the
seriously.
way. Spoiler
Fuck that
alert
shit.
sound.
How about spoiler alerts to art house movies? Can we do that?
Yeah.
Can I say the ending of The Master?
Yeah.
That was an art house
What?
movie.
Sleep. That's the ending of the Master.
The ending of The Master is basically this. Everyone in the audience goes, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, that's exactly.
That's the
right.
ending of The fucking Master.
Yeah, wait, he's doing it on the sand
Yeah.
again. Oh, okay.
I thought that was a dream.
That movie, jeez Louise.
I have an Olive Garden update.
This just in, Olive Garden update. There it is. Yeah.
Tonight, Death Squad regular Brody Stevens is on the Chelsea Handler show. He has a podcast here on Death Squad, and he talks about the Olive Garden. So,
So you should slide.
Fantastic.
Wait,
That's great.
that's great. Futurama comics, what's going on?
Oh, we're just trucking along.
Are they going to be different than the show? Or are they going to be the show content regurgitated for comic format?
No, what we do, I've been actually writing the comics now. I've been writing them since '99 for Futurama comics, and we create original stories for those. So we try to make them as much like an episode you would see. We don't always succeed because of the constraints of comic book writing. I mean, you sometimes, especially we used to be 25 pages, then we went to 20, and now we're 22 again. And you just can't, you really can't let things breathe like you can on the show. You kind of just have to get more. You have to get to the story more. So. That being said, it's going strong. I wrote that. That's my name's on number. That's probably the only time I'll ever write a number one of anything. But
That's an amazing cover, by the way.
Isn't that
That's
cool? Fun, right?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's not the same artist, is it?
I think a lot. I think
Really?
pretty much all those guys. Let's see. James Lloyd. James Lloyd is still doing stuff for them. Bill Morrison is still there. Yeah. I think a lot of the team is still doing their thing, and there are a lot of young guys who at Futurama Comics or at Bongo Comics, I'm sorry, Matt Groening's comic book company, who were 20 years old back when that started, and now are like the lead artists and lead pencilers, inkers, and all that. So those guys are, they're amazing. So
I'm totally addicted to the new Simpsons Tapped Out game on iPad.
Oh yeah, I've heard that's awesome. Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah, it's really popular.
I love those that's how I know that I'm a girl.
The other
Other
stuff,
than my
the other stuff
cicators.
doesn't give it away in the morning.
No,
looking at yourself.
I love
what
those
about
games.
the vagina? No.
You can buy one of those. Seriously, have you been to Thailand? Come on.
I'm straight. I'll stop doing it.
The
now,
running
really, I
thing
will.
for the evening.
Yeah.
I love it.
But no, I love those fancy Tamagotchi games. I think they're the best. And Tapped Out is my brand new favorite one because it's Homer blows up Springfield, and so you
Right.
have to rebuild Springfield.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, no,
is Futurama going to get any video games?
We have one that was
Because you guys are in the future.
no doubt, right?
And there's space and stuff.
We want
lasers.
We want to have another one come out. We had one come out, I think in 2003, and obviously that's so stinking dated at this point, and it looks bad. Yes, that would be awesome. We don't, and Matt would be way behind that. Matt wants to have Futurama last longer than The Simpsons, and he wants to have he wants it to have as many ancillary properties as The Simpsons does. It's just we're kind of the cousin that just keeps chugging along.
I wish there was
Just
more
happy to be around.
crossovers.
Me too. That would be great.
That's always my favorite.
I don't know
just
why
seeing
Fox
it.
doesn't do that. I mean,
Yeah.
that would be huge. But
It'd be like Jetsons meets the Flintstones.
it would be awesome. We did it
bigger.
for the comics.
Yeah.
We did it for the comics a couple times, and the fans love that. But it's the suits. They do what they do, and
Damn those suits.
I know,
They approve
right?
things like Air Bud, and they can't approve a crossover.
I know. Yeah,
I worked on all the Air Bud DVDs.
Hey, look at that,
Are you serious?
Yeah.
dude.
Like Pinky Swear for realsies?
Yeah.
That's a paycheck.
What did
That's
you
awesome.
do on the Air Bud DVDs?
Before I started making money selling my filthy books and all my TV shows and movies and shit, my last real job was writing content for this little ad company whose biggest client was Buena Vista Home Video. So they had all the Air Bud shit. They eventually got some Marvel stuff when Disney bought Marvel.
Like
or
the old
all
crappy stuff,
all the
though.
old cartoons. When they bought all their old properties or all their old shows. Bunch of shit like fucking Land Before Time. We did Magical World of Winnie the Pooh, Disney Princess Tea Party, Sing-Along Songs, Volume 1 through 4. I wrote
What?
all of the interstitial menu dialogue as well as a lot of the games and stuff that were on them. So, specifically, the one we're talking about, I don't even remember what the fuck I did on that.
Fucking Air Bud. I can't believe that shit got made. Seriously, like,
There's like
so
Air
many
Bud
sequels.
7,
Yes,
I think.
so many
it's
sequels.
amazing. Like, when people are like,
Put puppies in space, kids buy it.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I
Yeah.
like pigs in space, personally.
Put little piggies in. Hey, Ryan, that's your movie right there. Piggies
True.
in space.
No, pigs in space. It was the Muppets.
The Muppets, right? No, but just rebrand it.
The same
Yeah.
company who did Air Bud also had a series called MVP, Most Valuable Primate, which
Right.
is much better.
Monkey one, yeah.
But that's also a series.
Or was
So
it an
the-
orangutan?
It was
Yeah.
a chimp.
A chimp, oh.
And he, in the first...
Orangutan?
Is that what I said?
Orangutan.
Orangutan. What did I say?
Orangutan.
Isn't it right?
No, it's orangutan.
No, it's orangutan. There's not a
It's
G on the end.
Orangutan.
Is there a G on the end?
That's true. No, I don't fucking know. I'm just making shit up, man. I don't
Okay, so most valuable
Orangutan.
primate.
Now I feel stupid. Anyway.
Yeah, the first most valuable primate was he's a chimp who works in a some kind of testing facility. If I'm remembering the story right, he works in like kind of an experimental lab where they're teaching him how to do sign language. And they want to sell him to a chimp farm or some shit. And the guy who's like his mentor is like, "Oh, we can't have that." And he escapes because the chimp is smart enough. He gets wind of what's happening. He escapes. And he wanders into the backyard of a family who has a deaf little girl, and he starts fucking talking to her, and they kind of hide him E.T. style. And then eventually, he sneaks in with the son of that family to his hockey practice, falls in a laundry bin, and when he comes out, he's wearing a hockey jersey that has the last name Rib Chimpsky on it. I'm not shitting you. And he can fucking ice skate. So he just gets out on the thing, and he's wearing a hockey helmet, and everybody's just like, "Who's that little guy? He's great." Like, they don't fucking know he's a chimp.
Lord.
Even though he's clearly fucking chimp. So that was movie number 1. There's a second fucking movie.
Yeah, that's it.
There's a second fucking movie called
you go.
MVP 2, Most Vertical Primate, in which he's a fucking
Basketball
half pipe skateboarder.
Oh.
Yeah.
Even better. Yeah.
So you love crappy movies.
Oh yeah.
What have you been watching recently? What's been good? And are you doing Netflix or are you like ordering them from the internets?
I have the Emmy screener for a movie called Riding the Bus with My Sister, directed by the indomitable Angelica Houston, starring Rosie O'Donnell as a woman with Down syndrome. It has
Wait,
lines.
what?
That's real.
Did she go? Did she go full retard?
That's true.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That's an
She
older
wanted
movie,
to win
right?
an Emmy. Yeah, you go full.
That's an older movie, or
It's got to be
That's
like
like-
7 or 8 years old.
yes,
gonna
that
say,
movie is
yeah.
awesome.
It was a Hallmark. It was a Hallmark movie.
yes, that's an awesome. Movie.
Andy McDowell plays her sister who is not retarded, and their father dies, and
If
they
it's
have
Andy
to like
McDowell, you know it's.
come back
Those
together.
are the kind
but-
of movies we live for on the show because it's like
incredible.
as soon as you see it, you go, "Yep, making fun of that."
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Absolutely.
Like The Finder last year.
Oh,
Do you remember
Jesus
that show?
fucking
We have an
Christ.
episode coming out next summer where we mock it. And it's the show within the show is called The Finder Outer, and he's just, and all it is just this cop who like his investigation skills are. I'm just gonna have to find out. Like he has no police skills whatsoever.
That is fucking
he's just
hilarious.
like he walks up to a murderer. He's like, so are you gonna tell me if you did it, or are you gonna tell me you did it? No. I guess I'll just have to find out. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. But we cracked that. We cracked ourselves up. So anyway, I'm sorry. Oh.
Excellent. We just saw this movie. There you are. We've got to get Kanye down to the basement. Come on, honey.
That is delicious. So you gotta take me today to get a new toilet.
Why?
Okay, that's Nightmare Fuel.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's really
Straight
good.
up Nightmare Fuel.
It's really, really good. I highly, strongly suggest you watch that one. There's like the old standbys, fucking Troll 2, The Room,
Yes.
shit like that, obviously.
I just
but,
saw the documentary on Troll 2. Best
It's
worst
so
movie.
fucking good,
Oh, I
dude.
love it.
It's so hilarious.
There's a
great.
documentary
That
on
weird-
Troll Show.
the
Yeah,
dude
it's
who
called
played
Best-
the dad.
Best worst movie.
Best worst movie, yeah.
it's so good.
And
yeah.
that is on Netflix.
and that's on
It's
Netflix,
Troll
yeah.
2 on Netflix.
I think so.
I get really scared.
I'd be stunned
So
if it
I
wasn't.
get
Yeah.
It's not scary.
okay. There's an episode
it's
of
so
MacGyver
silly,
that I
yeah.
thought was really scary.
Okay, you cannot watch Troll 2. You'll fucking commit suicide.
Troll 2. Jeez. Have you seen Tiptoes?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
okay, let's
right?
talk about
yeah,
Tiptoes.
Yeah, Tiptoes. I couldn't
How
get
could
through
I
it
forget?
all the way. Yeah.
Watch the whole thing.
Okay,
So you want to hear the...
all right,
okay,
yeah.
Tiptoes is a fucking movie that was made in the late 90s.
This is stunning.
It stars McConaughey and Kate Beckinsale are man and wife. And Gary Oldman shows up on their doorstep, but he's a fucking midget.
Yeah, he's a little
and
person.
and this midget, to play this fucking role,
Wait till you hear the twist. Wait till you hear the twist.
to play this role,
Yes.
Gary. Okay, here it is. Sorry.
Yeah.
I've got to get going.
That's like the first scene of the movie, by
Yeah.
the way.
Hey, baby.
Oh, and Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, Dinklage is
Yeah.
in it.
There's one small
There he is.
He's on his knees.
Ralph. I'm his brother. We're twins.
Are you
You hear that? We're twins.
Chelsea's
It
moving
can
to
tear
a
them
new
apart.
studio
I think you're gonna let me know that everyone in your family's a midget.
beginning Monday, October 15th at 11.
Are you fucking serious?
No, yeah, that's real. That's
I
a real
think there's
thing.
something else playing. Hold
Yeah,
on.
I agree with you. They're like October 15th at 9 p.m. The worst movie ever fucking made on ABC. Here we go.
And over behind the bar is Steven's brother Rolf.
You could have prepared us for this, don't you think?
If you embarrass me, I'll never speak to you again, so just get it together.
You've got something going on in the background.
I think maybe I'm pregnant.
When the going gets rough, it's only the size of your heart that counts.
That big of a deal if our kid was a dwarf?
You knocked up this great girl and you didn't tell her that her baby's probably gonna be little. I'm not like you.
We are so cute.
Oh, we're saying Arquette.
Don't discriminate against
Push
us.
Arquette.
That's Bridget the midget.
Got a little wild. I never expected this. There's sure a lot of midgets around here.
They sure know how to party.
Goldie Hawn. My man can do what he wants to do.
I'm ready for an adult relationship.
What is this man doing in your bedroom?
Yep.
Right?
A walk down the aisle
Steven's he's a very lucky guy. Just hope he's smart enough not to screw it up.
is just a beginning.
There'll be rough patches, there's no doubt about it.
Canal Plus and Langley Productions proudly
She have a
present
little
command
person, baby?
performances from Kate Beckinsale,
Command performances.
Matthew McConaughey, Patricia Arquette, and in the role of a lifetime, Gary
Role of a lifetime. So, in this fucking movie, I'm going to spoil alert right now.
You should do it.
Okay, so in this movie, Gary Oldman, there are at least 3 shots that I can remember where the camera doesn't quite block out the fact that he's on his fucking knees, that he has shoes on his knees, and you can see like his shins sticking back from the fucking knees. The end of the movie, all right?
I'm literally going to pee my pants.
Kate Beckinsale gets pregnant. The whole deal is like, oh shit, what if we have a dwarf baby? All this.
So dramatic.
So dramatic. It ends up being a dwarf baby. McConaughey leaves her. The end of the movie is Gary Oldman shows up as a midget and is like, I'll help you care for this baby. And he fucks her. She gets together with Gary Oldman, the midget.
What?
Yeah.
The funny thing about that movie is that there was like a movie that I recently bought that had that as a trailer at the beginning.
Oh,
and like it was like,
yes.
And it was like a normal movie. It was like Iron Man 2.
Yep.
And then they just had that at the beginning of the
King's
movie.
Speech.
Yeah.
But coming soon. Oh my god.
They should put it as a trailer at the beginning of every movie that any of those actors is in.
Wow.
Magic Mike. But first, you need to see Tiptoes.
But before.
In the role of a lifetime.
Role of a lifetime.
Do you get the screeners for movies?
Yeah.
I'm raiding your house. Because I want to see Magic Mike, but I did not want to give them.
I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get that screener.
Why not?
Who the fuck is sending me that for award
I don't even
consideration?
think the Producers Guild will even send that one out.
Yeah. Pretty sure that's not going to happen. Sorry.
Yeah.
I need to. I'm actually making a note to watch Tiptoes. And what's the name of the Troll 2 documentary?
Best worst movie ever, right?
Yeah.
And that's on Netflix right now?
Yes.
Yep.
Is Troll 2 on Netflix
I don't know.
right now?
You already.
I think
would,
it is.
I'd be
I think so.
stunned if it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. It should be.
Ever. Oh my god, I really do have to pee.
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman in a role of his lifetime.
Of a lifetime.
Oh, God. It's so weird. Like, how did that movie get fucking made? And you know it was something like that. Like, Gary Oldman had to have been like, yes, this is gonna be my left foot.
There's no
I'm gonna
art
do this.
to it either. It's it's just straightforward
it's terrible.
directing. And it's terrible directing, but like, yeah.
It reminds me kind of like, I think there must be some weird like group of friends where they're like, let's just help Timmy out with this little movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's my friend's son. And because like it's like that what's that movie with Mel Gibson where he had a little puppet.
Oh,
that he
the otter, or no, the
beaver.
Beaver.
No, but didn't Jodie Foster directed that or something, right?
Did she? I didn't.
Yeah, I think so.
That's another one I need to see
Because they're buddies.
I hope it's not good.
Jodie Foster and Mel Gibson, aren't they? Am I crazy? Am I
think-
making this
no,
shit
no,
up?
No, because they were in the Western movie together, the Maverick.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
So they're buddies, yeah.
I'm pretty sure she directed it.
That I never understood how that got made.
He's not gone.
Yeah, this
We
too.
just agreed that it's better if we don't live together anymore.
I'm glad you kicked him out. What a
And
loser.
again, another great
This
cast.
is the story of Walter Black,
In the role of a
a
lifetime.
hopeless
He fucking walks out on his knees.
It felt so bad because this is right when he was going through all that crazy
Yeah.
shit.
It was the worst possible time for this movie to
and no
come out.
matter
for him.
what he's tried,
It's probably really
Walter
good.
can't seem to bring him back.
Decent reviews, but
It's a brain. Mom says yours got broken.
So you can see that Walter is a man who's
He's like,
lost
just
all,
suck my dick and get in the hot tub.
but he's
Walter's
about
about
to
to
find
lose his mind.
his voice.
Bloody hell. Look at you. I'm sick. Do you want to get better?
Uh-oh.
Who are you? I'm the believer, Walter. And I'm here to save your damn life.
This is not real.
Seriously, I mean,
Like I thought this was like a Funny or Die thing that was just supposed to like lighten the mood of like what was going on in
that
Mel
would have been
Gibson's life.
brilliant.
You know,
If that were the case, that would have been great.
I assumed that it was a publicity stunt for the movie. At least I
The whole
really hoped
thing?
it
Oh, it
was.
was a publicity stunt, all right. Yeah,
yeah,
Just
That
went the
really
wrong
helped that
direction.
out.
fantastic.
Yeah.
that's hilarious.
You just have to sit back and wait for people to make bad movies. It happens all the time. It's just great.
True.
Yeah.
They're so earnest.
What I don't get though is like a movie like that, The Beaver, or even the one before it, was probably had at least somewhat of a Rotten Tomatoes score, like 20%, 10% maybe. But then you see these movies like Bucky Larson that has 0%, and you're like, come on, that house, you know, it has to be better. You know, Bucky Larson has to be better than that midget movie.
I tried watching.
I don't think
on cable the
anything's
other
better
day.
than that midget movie. I really like what could be better than that? And it stars Bridget the Midget, who was also in Double Midgetation, the movie that scarred me for life.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, she comes from a planet of alien midgets where they thrive on sex and masturbation. And she plays her and her twin sister, hence that Double Midgetation, where she just just like really
It's like
shitty.
Jean-Claude Van Damme in Double Impact.
Exactly, but with midget pornography.
That's great.
And then she just switches wigs.
Was she the blonde?
And the brunette.
But in the crappy Tiptoes, was she the blonde?
She was the blonde.
She was the blonde.
She was the hot midget.
Wasn't she in the original Total Recall too?
Yes.
Is that her?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
All right,
I recognized her.
What do you guys think the Rotten Tomatoes score is for Tiptoes? What would you guess?
I'm gonna say 15%.
I think it's super high. I think it's gonna be like 75%.
I'm gonna say 15.
All right. And so let's just to give you an example. Bucky Larson, 0%. Tiptoes, 29%.
Wow. That's
incredible.
Yeah. So it has its fans. McConaughey's on there every day going, "Oh, I like it. I like it."
Yeah, exactly.
It's good,
J.K.
man.
clicking.
Honey, just keep clicking on it for me.
What do you guys think the Beaver got on Rotten Tomatoes?
That's 100%.
100%?
No, it's probably similar to Tiptoes,
78.
right? 30%.
78%.
78?
30%? I'm going high.
61%.
All right.
Huh.
That's crazy.
I like how it was filmed all like serious style, you know, like the with the blue filters, and they've got that art direction where everything looks like nice and high end.
Budget, yeah. Jodie Foster probably made that for like $30 million or something.
I mean, you're like, yes, we're going to approve a $30 million budget for a Mel Gibson Beaver hand puppet
I think,
movie.
if I remember right, that's where the idea for the movie Ted came from. I'm kidding.
I was going to say, dude, that would be so genius if Seth MacFarlane did that.
I know.
That would be great.
It would be, right?
I could buy it. I could totally buy him going, I'm going to turn this on its ear, yeah.
Yeah, no,
I
don't think it was.
Yeah.
Wow, Battleship, which I kind of wanted to see.
I want to see that because it looks so crappy, too.
Yeah, but it got a 34%, so it's that midget movie seems Tiptoes is probably better than Battleship.
It's got Kate Beckinsale in it, and a lot of people will like sit through anything just because she's so beautiful.
She's pretty hot. Even in that movie, pretty hot.
Yeah.
And she fucks a midget. Gary Oldman midget.
Well, she does
Gary
McConaughey first, and then, and the payoff is Oldman.
She's tired of all those pretty boys. Yeah. She wants a real man.
Yeah, she
a half man.
She has a nice character arc in that film, doesn't she? Oh, gosh. I gotta watch it now.
I'm totally.
Even though I know the ending, I gotta.
Taught me a lot about myself. That movie.
My buddy gave me that. He has it on DVD. He gave it to me, and I told him I couldn't get through it. And he's so mad. He's like, "You have to finish it.
You have to see the end.
Love of God."
It's just so bizarre. I mean, I don't even know how to describe how weird it is. The feeling you had at the end of The Master, multiply that by a fucking billion, and it still doesn't come close.
Fantastic. All right.
You contemplate suicide. You don't really know who you are anymore. At the end of it, you're like,
I got nothing going on tomorrow afternoon. I'm just going to go for it tomorrow afternoon. I'll start
Tiptoes
drinking whiskey or something. Yeah.
Can you live tweet it?
Oh, you know what? I will. I will let you know when I'm starting it, and I will live tweet Tiptoes.
That sounds magical.
And I will lose followers so fast, but it's going to be fine.
Where can people find you on the Twitter?
Eraj tweets too much because I tweet too much.
And it's the numerical 2.
Numerical 2, yeah. Eraj, EROG, tweets number 2 much. Yes, yeah. Because I'm kind of addicted to it and spout off, and like everybody who likes Twitter, you see it as a place to air your stupid ideas.
The way that I look at Twitter, it's a text message from my id to the world.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of filter that happens.
My friends think I'm all really angry on Twitter, and I disagree. I just say, well, I have an intelligent opinion about things.
It's because you don't use enough smiley faces, and people get confused if you don't throw emoticons in, which drives me up the wall.
There you go. Yeah.
When Penthouse rewrites, so I write a column every month for, and this happens when I write interviews too. So I write a column every month for Penthouse Forum called The Dirty Details, which I write out, blah, blah, blah. And then I also regularly people interview me about stuff, and they're written interviews, and I send them to them, and then I get the print copy back, and they've added between 2 and 5 exclamation points to my writing.
There you go.
And it drives me up the wall. I'm like, I don't, exclamation point.
I wasn't
everything.
excited when I wrote that
no,
sentence. Yeah.
I'm not like, tee-hee. I just love whatever. Like, it's...
Winky face.
Winky face?
Yeah.
Bitches love smiley faces.
That should be the name of your book. You should write a book called
Bitches Love Smiley Faces?
Love Smiley Faces, yeah.
Oh, here's another movie that's I forgot. I saw previewed the other day for. Tell me what you guys think about this.
All right, awesome.
After the...
What was that? In the water.
Oh, shit.
Is hungry.
That's some great CG.
What is that thing? Shark!
Yep,
We drilled too deep, unleashed a predator we haven't seen 200 million years.
God.
it's so huge.
But I think at one point the shark has a gun or something. If I remember.
It's just a shot.
Watch how high these sharks jump to.
What?
Why did he just explode?
Enough with the junk food, you ugly me! You're chum, bitch.
Jurassic
I love
Shark.
it. That one chick is like the poor man's Dina Meyer.
Yeah, or was it Dina Meyer?
Oh, Jesus.
It could be Dina Meyer.
No.
Yeah, but what's up with the...
She's got enough money. She did Saw, didn't she?
Well, she wasn't Saw, yeah. So that's legit.
She's fine.
All right, yeah. You're chum, bitch.
All right, we have to wrap this up because I literally
incredible.
will pee my pants if you guys say anything funny. Have we not mentioned that I'm really good at awkward segues?
That wasn't really a segue. It was just a fucking
I've
show
already
killer.
peed my pants,
Just done.
so-
Yeah, because I am going to pee my pants. Chad Kultgen, where can people give you money?
At your favorite local bookstore,
Oh.
just look for my name and then buy one of my books.
Let's talk before we go.
I'll make it quick. Whatever you want.
Your art stuff. You are about to become a very famous artist.
I don't know if that's true, but I've started doing some like paintings and street art and stuff around LA.
Let's see if I carried your dollar around in my wallet for forever.
Yeah.
Maybe accidentally spent it.
It's fine. If anybody wants to look at any of this shit, you can go to a website called chodart.com, CHODART.
See, you spell it like that, I just think it's chode.
Yeah, many people do. But it was like a nickname that I had at my first real job. They would call me Chod.
Chod? Why do they call you Chod?
I don't know. I thought it was funny. There, look, you can see some stuff. There's shit that I do on dollar bills.
cool.
If
Yeah.
you scroll up to the top, there's like some bigger ones too. There are other links. Like
There's
hit
a lot of
hit the
social
$100
commentary.
one. The $100 link, maybe. There's like a big thing. So that's $101 bills, and it has a little 100-word paragraph that talks about the
Dude, that's
concept of
great.
fiat money. And then below that, there's also a thing that's like that's P Diddy's head on $100 bills.
Wow,
Dude,
that's
that's great.
fucking amazing,
Yeah, that's cool,
dude.
man.
Yeah. So if you like any of that stuff, I think there's one of my friends is this dude who did the website, and I think he made a Google phone number on there, which
Yeah.
I think it may ring my phone, to be honest. What the fuck he does. And here's some like little posters that I've been putting up around LA. You might have seen those if you live in Los Angeles.
Hell yeah.
Chod.
Dude, that's great, man.
Yeah, and then I also do like some paintings of the similar kind of style, and I've started doing like some tiles and stuff around the city. So again, if you have any
What are
interest, go to the
tiles?
website. You'll have to wait until they emerge. If anybody's ever seen the documentary Resurrect Dead, it's about this guy who made these things called the Toynbee tiles in Philadelphia, and I kind of have stolen his method and made some kind of like weirder things that are along the lines of these things that I'm doing.
I must have this. How much is this?
Somebody
$25?
already bought that. It's $25. That was the first thing I ever sold in a show in New York a couple
great.
weeks ago.
What can you get for $1? $1.
One of those. These things are like framed dollars that I glue to the sides of places around Los Angeles.
Wow, that is really cool, man.
Yeah, it's kind of a genius.
That's fantastic.
That's really cool.
So who knows? Who knows what will come of it? At this point, I just do it late at night because I think it's fun. Maybe somebody eventually will give me money for it. But if you want to pay me money, buy one of my books. That'll be way better.
I'm going to do that tomorrow.
Yes.
That's really cool, man. Yeah, so check out chodart, CHODART.com.
And as always, you can find Chad at Chad Kultgen, KULTGEN, on the Twitters.
Yeah.
He's awesome. And I am at Ryan Keely. It's RyanKeely. And I'm going to go pee, so Redban can wrap us out.
All right, guys, we have a live show tomorrow here at the Ice House. If you're listening to this now, go to icehousecomedy.com. The T-shirts are on sale right now. We have the second T-shirt at shopsquad.tv. It's men's and women's sizes, and we have stickers going on sale tomorrow. And I found a box of the first version of the T-shirt, which also will be going on sale sometime tomorrow. I'm Brian. Guys, thank you for listening, and subscribe to us on iTunes under Death Squad. Later, guys.